What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. So I'm on Demetrius Boo Andrade, his Twitter account, and he posted a tweet that I want to talk about. Read the tweet, and then I'll give my thoughts regarding it. And once again, he calls out Canelo Alvarez. In the tweet, he says, if you want to see Boo Andrade fight Canelo, then you need to let Oscar De La Hoya know, but expect to be blocked. Laugh out loud. So that's coming from Demetrius Andrade. He also has a couple tweets from, I think, a week or two ago where he's calling out the Charlo brothers, and it's more of the same. And to me, it's getting to the point where Canelo needs to do something big. He's a good fighter, but he has to get back into the fans' mind that he's the fighter that they praised him to be. You know what I mean? He has to get back on the train. And the way to do that, I think he has to start looking in the direction of a Demetrius Andrade, of a Gennady Golovkin. These are the fights that are telling, that are meaningful, and people want to see these types of fights. But at the moment, I haven't seen much interest from Golden Boy matchmaker, Oscar De La Hoya, or Canelo. They're acting as if Demetrius Boo is just like a ghost, Boo, invisible or something. I don't really even hear him like respond to him. There's a saying that says, sometimes no response is a response, and I think that might be indication that they don't really want to make that. I mean, I met Demetrius Andrade, cool dude. I watched him live sparring, and he's slick in there. He's 6 foot. He's much taller than Canelo. He's a southpaw. When he fought with Willie Nelson, he got aggressive early. But see, the thing that makes him a difficult guy to deal with is different people deal with movement and deal with defense different. And from what I've seen in the Willie Nelson fight, that was a guy who's taller than him, and he's being defensively responsible, but he's right there in your face. And there's a lot of guys that are doing that. Floyd Mayweather, as he got older in his career, he started becoming more flat-footed, not expend a bunch of energy moving, but he could still have a calculated, crisp defense right there in front of you. Another person that does it, who kind of reinvented their career, Tevin Farmer. If you guys have seen him, he's not doing a bunch of unnecessary movement. And by unnecessary, one fighter that comes to mind is when Jazza Dickens fought Guillermo Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux is being the counterpuncher, and Jazza Dickens, he's moving a lot and thinking he has to do that, but you burn unnecessary energy, and you don't want to do that with the sharpshooter. So that's one of the qualities that I like about Demetrius Andrade, is he has a good defense, but he doesn't even have to move that much. He's moving his head, upper body, and pivoting and bending at the knees and stuff like that. But he's not moving as much as, like, let's say Adeslandi Lara versus Canelo, right? But he can move like that, I'm pretty sure. So I think Canelo, like I said, he has to do something to get back in the favor of the fans, and these are the types of fights. But at the moment, with Golden Boy not really publicly expressing much interest and picking guys like Liam Smith, who most people consider to be the weakest link at the division in terms of like the big names or champions or whatnot, it doesn't look like it. And it looks like these guys are going to end up having to fight each other. Andrade versus a Charlo brother, the other Charlo brother fighting against Julian J. Rock Williams, which should be something that we get to look forward to this fall. Kind of like the Black Murderers Row 2.0, where they got to fight each other, all these talents in the 154-pound division, plus add like Vanes Martirosyan. I mean, you actually look at it, Vanes Martirosyan has fought those guys. He fought Willie Nelson, he fought Demetrius Andrade, he fought against the Charlo brother, he fought Adeslandi Lara twice, you know what I'm saying? And you look at Canelo, and he's able to pull up a welterweight with durability issues like Amir Khan, or fight Liam Smith, who at least stateside is not really heard of. He's not I mean, Eddie Hearn promotes, see, this is how you know what I'm saying is true. Eddie Hearn promoted, I don't know if he retired, but he was promoting Paul Smith, the brother of Liam Smith. And he admitted on camera on the interview, it was like for a Kell Brook Golovkin, one of the press conference, I watched the interview, Eddie Hearn says that Liam Smith is no slouch, but he basically said it's a hard sell because most people don't know about him. So he has nothing against the Smith family, but he's just being real. And that's how most people feel about it, about the situation. So it's interesting to see what is decided, but I really think for Canelo's sake, for his benefit, that he should actually end up fighting somebody like a Demetrius Andrade. I mean, there's only so long you could avoid and evade these types of fights. And the thing is, Canelo's at a point where there's killers all around his division. Demetrius Andrade being one of them. There's guys like there's just a ton of guys at 54. Julian J. Rock Williams, Lada, there's still controversy there. I personally had Lada winning by a round or two in a competitive fight. So it's going to be interesting. And I think the worst thing to do would be to avoid all of these, like just ignore them like they don't exist, and then keep going after like Willie Monroe, Gabe Rosado winners and stuff like that, because we all know going into those fights Canelo would be a heavy favorite, and I don't think they'll be as competitive. No, and that's no shade to Gabe Rosado or Willie Nelson or Willie Monroe winner, because they're fighters that show heart and stuff, but these are guys that are unbeaten. These are guys that are Olympians and amateur backgrounds, and they have power, this and that. So it'll be interesting to see what Golden Boy does next. And then, like I said, the division above, you got guys like Gennady Golovkin, and I think it was a bad look. And people get mad at me. Some people call names. I've got racial slurs and mayates and all types of shit because I'm speaking what's real. I'm being honest when it comes to Canelo. I like him as a fighter, but it's not a good look to evade and avoid guys like Golovkin. And the funny thing is, I know what I'm saying is true because you have people from all walks of life who are mirroring the same sentiments that I've said in my videos, the same criticism. You got guys like Alfredo El Perro Angulo, who is saying the exact same thing. He's like, that is not a good look for the country of Mexico. Where's Canelo's balls, or says something like that. Then you also have guys like Orlando Salido, another Mexican warrior who just had a terrific fight with Francisco Vargas. You know what I mean? There's nobody on this planet that's going to say Salido is not at least a warrior. You know what I mean? He's the only guy to defeat Lomachenko as a pro. So that being said, he said, I don't think, Salido said something to the effect of they're spoon feeding Canelo and they're protecting Canelo. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what he said. He said they're protecting him. And he's clearly not a guy that's protected. They put him in there with Lomachenko, Gamboa, when they were calling Gamboa Baby Tyson. He'd been in there with Juanma Lopez, and when he was the Puerto Rican sensation. They put him in there with Mikey Garcia. So, I mean, these are people, some people are going to say, oh, but Canelo beat Angulo's ass, even though that has nothing to do with it, right? So you could say, oh, and try to deflect onto that. But even guys like Salido, he's a known warrior that you can't take that away from him. He has a good resume per his division, been in there with Juan Manuel Marquez, Robert Guerrero, all these guys, and he's still saying the same thing. So before you try to defer and deflect and get away from the subject, a lot of people feel this way. I did the video about Canelo getting heckled, you know what I mean? So to me, Demetrius Andrade, he should just stay on his path and keep fighting the guys he can't fight. I think there's a mandatory fight or some kind of eliminator they're trying to get him to fight. He needs to keep doing that, keep fighting these guys, the Vanes Matarosans, anybody who can fight, but definitely stay more active than before. Keep doing the call-outs, because the more he does the call-outs, eventually someone's going to have to answer. And then what I'll say in closing is this, is a lot of people, boxing fans, are scary. They're really scary, and this is not what boxing fans used to be like. You know what I mean? The Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. era. I think the boxing fans before the internet talked with a little bit more sense, a little bit more knowledgeable, not as casual, stuff like that. Because I'm hearing comments like, oh, why should Canelo fight Demetrius Andrade? He just wants a paycheck. He's nobody. He doesn't have a big name. That's fine. But if that's your real logic and psychology behind the issue, then you can't say that. And then Canelo ends up fighting a guy who's not even ranked in the division like Amir Khan, or a guy like Liam Smith who's not even known in the States. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to a guy who represented the United States in the Olympics. You know what I mean? And he's undefeated. And nobody was calling Demetrius Andrade a paper champion because he beat Vanes Matarosan to become a champion, another Olympian, right? So you can't, these excuses, especially with new media on the case, is getting harder and harder to try to justify. Oh, you can't fight Demetrius Andrade. Now, if you're saying Canelo should overlook Andrade to fight Golovkin, okay, cool. Because Golovkin, I would say, is right now he's been more active and he's more popular, right? Or he has more of a fan base because he's been more active, exciting style. So he's probably more known at this point. But that's not what you're saying. You're saying, why fight Andrade? He's nobody. No one knows him. But then you're okay with him fighting Liam Smith. Doesn't make sense. Let me know what you guys think of Demetrius Andrade, his latest call out. Drop it in the comment section, new media style. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.